Hello everyone, welcome to another video on the channel. Welcome to this week's Gran Turismo 7 Daily Race C Race and Strategy Guide. It's Group 3 and we're at Circuit de Spa Francorchamps in Belgium. Now I just want to very quickly say I've had to put this together very quickly. It's not quite got the detail in that I would normally do. But I did want to get this video out on the Monday morning before I went to work. So apologies, it's a little bit rushed and not quite as comprehensive as I usually like to do these race and strategy guides. But we've got 8 laps to get around Circuit de Spa Francorchamps. Tyre wear is at times 10, fuel is at times 7, it's just the racing hard tyres available, BOP is on, there's no mandatory rules, damage is light and it is a rolling start. I've done a number of races, I haven't seen any rain so far, but I would recommend just making sure you've got some intermediate tyres for whatever car you're using, just in case at some point that rain decides to come in. But as I said, I've done a number of races, not seen any rain so far, watched a couple of races as well, no rain in sight as far as I can tell, but it's always good to be safe rather than sorry. So the first thing I want to discuss is the pit stop here. So Belgium and GT Sport, or Spa Francorchamps and GT Sport, had a very long pit stop, and that has not changed whatsoever for Gran Turismo 7 here. So up in the top right hand corner there you can see me making a pit stop, and on the main screen you can see me not making a pit stop, and yeah, we're sort of halfway down towards Old Rouge and Radion now before our car has even got into the pit box. And as we get into the pit box there, obviously it's going to be a fairly substantial pit loss. Now with fuel being at times 7, again fuel is going to be an issue in this one, so your pit loss for 40% fuel plus tyres, you're looking at well over 30 seconds. I think you could even be up as far as 35 seconds. In terms of your fuel, it's around 1 second per 10% fuel, and a tyre change will add 4 seconds onto your pit stop. So lots of things to consider here in the pit stop, and that does mean that strategy is quite flexible. There's certainly a number of things that you can do to try and negotiate this race. So having seen that massive pit stop, the first thing I tried to do was jump into the Corvette in the first race, or one of the early races of the day, and do a no stop, and it turns out that you can't do the no stop in the Corvette. Well, you probably can, you'd have to be in fuel map 6 for the majority of the race, and you'd be losing around about 6 or 7 seconds per lap. So I kind of persevered here up to about lap 5 and then eventually gave in. You can see we put the fuel map into number 1 there, and we're going to make a pit stop at the end of this lap. So you're going to have to pick the right car for this when you want a car that's very strong on fuel, and of course that's going to mean the Peugeot RCZ or the Mazda RX Vision, which is the 2 cars I'm aware of at the moment that are pretty decent on fuel. Into the next race we went then, and we jumped into the Mazda RX Vision, and again we weren't necessarily going into this race intending to do the no stop, but we just saved fuel where we could, and by lap 6 here we were in the lead, everybody else having made some pit stops. I was seriously considering, can I try and eke 2 laps out of 13% fuel, got a 12-second lead, but I thought no, that's not going to work. Into the pits we're going to come. Do be careful of, obviously get the cone there to negotiate you, but if you put a wheel on the green stuff there on the left hand side, I think you can pick up the 3-second penalty for cutting the white line. So do be careful as you come into the pits there. On this occasion we just took in a little bit of a splash and dash. We didn't change the tyres, we saved the 4 seconds on the tyres, so we're only stationary there for 4 seconds. We started this one down in P14 or 15 I do believe. So as you can see we came out in P5, not a million miles away from P4. Got Cartman, friend of the channel, just behind us. He was in the Ferrari. I don't know if he changed tyres in this one. We never changed tyres, we never had a lot of issue to be honest with you on the tyres over the last couple of laps, so it's definitely a viable strategy to not change those tyres. And as you can see we actually put some pressure on P4 there to try and take that position off them. Cartman was right behind us at the end, he was in the Ferrari, he seemed to have incredible traction off the last corner and out of La Source, so definitely it looks like the MR cars have just got that traction advantage over the FR cars once again. So with that kind of knowledge in my mind, I thought, well, we weren't a million miles away there from being able to do the no stop in the Mazda, so I jumped into a custom race, and I'm thinking if you can do the no stop here, you can save yourself 30 odd seconds in the pit lane. Surely this is the strategy to go for, so if you can pull it off, I think this is maybe the way to go, because you're going to lose about 2 to 3 seconds per lap. Even over the 8 laps and you're losing 3 seconds per lap, that's 24 seconds. So if you can pull the no stop off, which you can, and you're going to have to do some pretty big fuel saving as well, It's not going to be for everyone, the no-stop. There in a custom race, we've managed to do the 8 laps fairly comfortably on the no-stop. The no-stop strategy is definitely viable, but in conclusion, it's a hard one for me to recommend what is the optimal strategy here for most people, because everyone drives differently and they want to drive differently. I think if you can do the no-stop and a sort of fairly clean run, it is the way to go. You're just going to have to accept that you're not racing and doing the no-stop, so let drivers that are faster behind you go, and if it comes to the end of the race and you're extreme on fuel, you're just going to have to let cars overtake you. But I was running sort of 2 minutes 21s there doing the no-stopper. We did sort of fall into the 222s by the end, but in the races that I've been doing, the drivers at the front who have been kind of going fly out have been doing 219s, so you're only losing 2 to 3 seconds per lap. And as I said, 3 times 8 laps is 24 seconds, which is less than a 30-second pit stop as far as I can work out. But yeah, again, as I said, a hard one for me to kind of recommend what the best strategy here is for you. I just give you the information, I give you the pit loss, I give you how long you're going to sort of spend using your fuel, or how long it's going to take to refuel, how long it takes to change those tyres, give you the numbers, and then you can try and work it out from there. But I'm going to try and start doing the no-stopper in the Mazda RX Vision. That is definitely my strategy going forward. But it's one of these races where whatever strategy you're going for, I think you have to commit to it, because if you try and change to a no-stop strategy halfway through, you won't have the fuel. And if you try and do the no-stopper halfway and then halfway through decide to go flat out, you'd probably be too far behind to make it work. So it's one of these races where you kind of have to commit to that strategy. But hopefully this video has been useful in some way, shape or form. If it has, please hit that like button, please hit that subscribe button, and I shall see you on the next one. Happy racing out there. It's Group 3, it's Circuit de Spa Francorchamps. How can you not be happy with that? Goodbye now.